My name is Mark Fratto, and I'm the voice of the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. You're listening to the Command This podcast with Steve, Dev, and Phil.
What's going on, Command This Nation? It's your boy Phil, and I'm coming to you solo for the moment. Dev will be on in just a few minutes. Steve is unfortunately not able to join us from the sandy, sunny beaches of Delaware this evening, so you will be, of course, dealing with my subpar amateur production skills. And like I said, Dev will be joining us in a minute. We have a lot to get to this evening. A lot of news, a lot of things to talk about. And we're going to have a little fireside chat as well at the end. So stay tuned. Anyway, while we wait for Dev to show up, he'll be on probably before I get done with this segment. Let's get started. So welcome. I am leaving Dev's spot open for him to when he joins. That's why we have this big black area to my left, your right on your computer or phone screen. But training camp started. The camp is here. And a lot of big news coming out of camp right now. So, of course, everyone saw the throw. The first throw of camp was a over-the-shoulder throw from Jayden Daniels to Deebo Samuel. Why? Well, Terry ain't here, so who's going to be the wide receiver one? It's got to be Deebo, right? Of course, a lot of people are getting their opportunities and so forth in camp, but it was a beautiful sight to see. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the Twitter. But a lot of other things happening in camp. So, Von Miller, of course, showed up, and one of the things that we've seen is that there's some joy coming from our linebacker crew. So I'm going to put that up for you real quick here. Frankie Louvu had some words to say about the appearance of Von Miller. As soon as I can get this screen shared for you, I will play that for you. But let's check this out. Von Miller on, Frankie Louvu on Von Miller.
Oh man, he was. I studied him a lot. my first 2, 3 years when I was with Kevin Green. Um, because you're not a Ryan Kerrigan guy, so I kind of picked out some films of guys where they kind of fit my game, and Vaughn was one of them. I still haven't told him this, but um, he was one of the guys I studied. The guys, he can bend around the corner. He's very elusive. He moves like water. You can see that yesterday when my first time working with him. Just the way he moves, how he
I like hearing that Vaughn's looking nice and fluid. A lot of people were saying that he was in Buffalo. They're like, oh, he's lost it. He's slow, whatever. So I'm thinking he must have taken this off season to get himself back into better shape and ready to go this season. Let's continue.
does his get offs and just how he moves about his business. And to have that in the building, man, is very special.
Not only in the building, but on the other side of the field when you're
Right.
rushing, how much can that help what you do and what the defense does?
Oh, I think it's going to help us a lot. You know, I don't want to talk about last year, but we just certain situations we just gotta, a lot of it came down to that. But to have him in the building and on our defense, man, it's gonna bring nothing but juice and um, winning time moments for us. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited working with our defense, and man, like I said, we can't wait to cut it loose.
Hey, Frankie, go ahead. Are there things?
So that's Frankie Louvu's words on Mr. Vaughn Miller, who is our latest addition to this team. We got some comments in the chat coming in. Yam says, yo, back to you. So Yam already way ahead of us on topics. He already knows that we got to be talking about some stuff. Says that Son Reddick, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, CD Lamb, Jordan Loves are all holdouts last year and missed part or all of training camp. And Jamar Chase and Alvin Kamara both came to camp but didn't participate until contracts were done. We'll get to Terry. We'll get to Terry. Don't worry. We're obviously going to get to Terry. But let's talk about other training camp news and notes as well. Ryan Elias says he feels sorry for your loss with Hulk being a wrestling fan. I had a friend dress up today. Yeah, sad times. I know Black Twitter is celebrating because Hulk had that recording and had him making racist comments and so forth. But you have to admit this. The man outside and his personal life aside, none of us are wrestling fans. I shouldn't say none of us, but a lot of us aren't wrestling fans the way we're wrestling fans without Hulk Hogan existing. Period. That's how it is. The national expansion of WWF was a good chance it doesn't happen if Vince McMahon doesn't have Hulk Hogan to kind of lead that charge. And with Hulkamania and everything in the 80s, we still have territories to this day. If you're in Northeast, you're watching the WWF. If you're in the South, you're watching Jim Crockett. If you're out in Oklahoma or Louisiana, you're watching Mid-South. All that. That still probably might be going on. Or someone else goes national. So Ryan Elias says, wasn't dress up, tear up. Yeah, I had a couple friends who teared up as well about that. Seems like we're doing with a lot of loss lately. Hulk Hogan died today. I had a personal friend of mine died yesterday. Ozzy Osbourne died 2 days ago. 2 days before that was Malcolm and Jamal Warner. If you're a Beach Boys fan, Brian Wilson died last month. If you're a King of the Hill fan or a fan of brass jazz, Chuck Mangione died today. So just a lot of has not been fun times in that regard. A lot of people passing away. But EBM says RP Hulkster indeed, huge part of my childhood. Those of us who are over the age of 30, he's a huge part of your childhood period. Whether if you grew up in the 80s with Hulkamania, or in the 90s when he was running the NWO in WCW. Wrestling's booms in the 80s and the 90s, 2 separate boom periods. You gotta give the man credit for it. He was a big part of that. So Dev,
Yo.
Just when they were going over some training camp stuff and got sidelined, a little talk about Hulk Hogan dying. I saw your post on Facebook today, though. So that was funny.
Yeah.
Battle Royal.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
the Battle Royal. It was Hulk versus every black wrestler in history.
yeah.
But
I see why my lights is bugging, but I'll figure this out.
Yam says his dad died Sunday. Didn't find until Monday. He was pretty numb, and Ozzy broke me. Yeah, my condolences, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That sucks, man.
That's rough.
My mom died in 2012, man. I still ain't got over it. I get it.
My dad just turned 82 a week ago.
I'm almost older than my mom was. Where are you filming? Breaking up there, fam. I'm gonna turn this light up, son.
Am I better now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, my thing refreshed. Yam says Fantastic Four was pretty dope, Dev.
Nah, man. You know, wasn't horrible, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I literally just left Fantastic Four, by the way. I went there and did stop to see my son on the way home. I got this, by the way. I think I might show you this. I'll walk over here. But I liked Fantastic Four. You know, Superman was 8 times better, bro. Superman was 8 times better, dog. I got this though. This is fucking cool, bro. I got this bitch at the movie theater. Check it out. That is fucking awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, which is the movie's seen it as well. Y'all were.
I got the last one, bro. That's like this was fucked up. I was in line, and we have 2 of the AMC theaters.
Yeah.
We're at escape joints. I was there in line, and there was one on the table, right? And I asked the guy. I was in line. I asked the guy in front of me. I said, "How many they got left?" They said, "That's the last one." And then the fucking guy right in front of me bought it. So I called my wife, who works next to the other theater. I said, "Hey, go to the other theater, see if they got the Galactus head popcorn thing." And she went over there, and there's one left, and she got it. She loves me. Look at that.
Yeah, she does. She got you taken care of.
Need to get one of these, Yam. The popcorn.
He can't get Superman, but he never liked Superman except for Death of Superman and Reign of Superman.
Man, this basically has a lot of those Superman All-Star things in it.
I liked All-Star Superman.
Yeah,
I think that's a good story to base off of.
They got a little Bizarro story in there.
Let's get back on track here. Just a little bit. So we're talking about training camp news. Not related to Terry McLaurin. But other things that we're seeing, Jayden Daniels showing that he's still making checks to run calls, and so forth. You know, it's hard. You know, like I said, they're not in pads, but check led to a motion, put a linebacker in a bad spot, freed Casimir Allen, who was playing running back for a nice game. So Jayden's still showing that ability to read defenses. That is a crazy thing. All these other QBs are expected, these sophomore year QBs, they're expected to have these big jumps. But Jayden Daniels is going to slump because they have game film on him now.
That's how it works.
They had game film on him in the playoffs. He still played well. So
that's weird. We live in a weird world.
We live in a weird world where our guy is going to slump, but Bo Nix and Caleb Williams and JJ McCarthy, they're all going to just be mega stars.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how it works.
Nobody likes us and we don't care.
Don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, apparently Jayden Daniels spent most of the offseason working on his footwork. Because he says he can be more accurate on throws if his footwork is better, so he worked on that. Like I said, the first throw of camp on 11-11s, 25-yard pass to Deebo Samuel on a slot fade for a touchdown. And it was Tyler Owens had good coverage on him, but the pass was perfect. So Josh Connolly working with the second team right now. They said they're going to make him earn the job, just like they did with Jayden Daniels. You got to earn the job. And then apparently Von Miller was doing a good job working over Connerly as well. But
Who? Von Miller?
able to actually do a pretty good job re-anchoring himself. But so, I mean, steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. Von Miller going against a rookie tackle, that rookie tackle is going to learn real quick. So not a lot. Obviously, we're early in the camp, but some news and notes so far. Now, moving on to the next topic on our docket, new locker room. You have not seen this? Let me show it to you. For our audio crowd, go look up the pictures. That's all there is to it. Go look up the pictures. But
pretty nifty place.
This looks gorgeous.
It's fantastic.
So, as you can see, you got the leather seats in the middle. You got each locker has a chair at it, right?
Right.
If you open up the back of the chair, that's where the locker itself is. I toured the locker room before last year and it looked like a pretty, just like a standard locker room. I mean, much nicer than anything I ever played in. I played football. It was literally metal lockers and benches. So I don't know nothing about this. But here you can see some pictures. Debo, Ben Sinnott, and so forth here. And then you can go through these pictures and you can see how there's Tressway's locker. Helmet goes up there. Like I say, you pull down the seat back, and boom, you got your locker. They got cup holders or leather. Zach Ertz is right there. Ooh. Look at this. All them line up and under the big W. We're going to talk about that.
I mean, it's a W for now.
We're going to talk about that later. That we're going to have a little fireside chat.
Not as Trump has his say so.
Dev. Let's hold off on that one. That's a later topic. But nonetheless, beautiful, modern locker room. Bobby Wagner, Jayden Daniels, right next to each other on the corner. So very nice to see. I'm impressed. This team got an F on its locker room last year. I'm sure it'll get a B or an A this year. Anytime there's an issue, it gets addressed very quickly.
What do we compare it to though? I haven't seen another professional football team's locker room.
Is
it better than, let's say, the Giants? Let's randomly picking a name here.
Let's see if I can pull it up here. New York Giants locker room.
Your algorithm is going to be super gay now if you look at it.
So let's see here. This is like 2018. I don't need that. It doesn't look like it's changed from anything I've seen. Let's see here. Their locker room looks like our old locker room. The 2024.
Yeah, I see the wooden lockers or whatnot.
Yeah, they got the wood lockers, gold with blue, and they got the metal seats in front of them. Yeah, it's a standard locker room. That's standard. That's what our locker room used to look like, actually. Let me see if I can get a nice big picture for y'all. No, I'm not going to, but I'll show you what I got here. This is the best I could do for y'all. It won't let me go any bigger. And no. Anyway, that's the Giants locker room.
Yeah, they got folding chairs too. That's lame.
Yeah, that's what we used to have. That's what we used to have. So anyway, some of the comments here. Mark Sealand says, "What's up, family? Best thing Jayden could do, even as a rookie. Knows how audible in the right place. Yep. He knows how to read defenses very well. That was something that a lot of people were worried about because he didn't do a lot of it in college. It was a lot of one read and go, but kid's got natural talent for it. Processes stuff very fast. Aldo Loco. I believe I've seen you in here once or twice before, maybe not. But welcome in here. He says, let's go. We out here. Yes, we are. Mark Sealand said passes his condolences on to Yam for his father. Yam says new locker room looks nice. Marcus says they upgraded everything at the facilities. Yes, they did. Yam says I saw people trying to clown, say the seats were from AMC. Like, I don't give a fuck where they're from. They are nice and 1,000 times better than what the locker room was before. So the only locker room I've seen that looks nicer, the only locker room I've seen, I haven't seen every team's locker room. The only locker room I've seen that's nicer, but ours is kind of at least in the same stratosphere, is LSU's.
Yeah,
LSU.
Yeah, they got their locker rooms. Wow, bro.
Tremendous locker room.
Yeah.
So
I think that doubles as like a film room too or some shit though. But it's fucking dope. Whatever they got going on in that.
He says you see LSU's. Yep.
Yeah,
LSU's is nuts. Yeah. It is nuts. But new locker room, always nice to get the new facilities. Nice to see its ownership continuing to invest in this team, in this franchise, even for a stadium that they're going to be out of in a couple of years. We'll get to that too. They're still investing in the now, not just investing for the future. I'm sure in the new stadium, that locker room is going to be space age. So something to keep in mind. That's our locker room for a stadium we're not going to be in much longer.
I mean, it might be if we don't change the name to, Just saying.
I already got all
might be playing in Rajon, where the fuck it is forever, dog.
Yeah. Mark says Flores' locker room is nice. Aldo says they're building with love and care. The new stadium is going to be amazing. You're talking about the new one. Yes. Aldo Loco. It is going to be. Whatever they do.
Have they decided on a dome or retractable or whatnot?
I think they're gonna slow cook this one. They're not gonna give you everything at once. They never do. So anyway, now speaking of locker rooms and training camps, one person did not come to training camp.
Who?
Gary McLaurin holding out. Now, they're trying to work through contract negotiations. Bobby Wagner, who's team captain, simply said, he says, I think guys like to, at least myself, it's a business, and some business is not your business. You know what I mean? You let them take care of the things they need to take care of, and you focus on yourself. Understand that he's still part of the team, and he's part of presence in the locker room. He's an amazing figure in this community and this locker room. He's somebody we're excited to have whenever the business side gets worked out. You sit there and you wait, and you hope something gets done. When it gets done, you celebrate it, bring them in, and we move on. We talk about real numbers. So let business take care of business. So Bobby Wagner's saying, let business take care of business. It ain't your business. So don't mind his business. And it, from what Wagner's saying, that thoughts are that it's really not affecting the team, and they think he's going to be in soon. Adam Peters, when he was talking about it, says, he thinks, he says, yeah, I mean, first, I think without a doubt, I think everybody in this building values Terry very, very much. And we knew that coming in, and we knew that even more after spending a year with them. In terms of where we're at, we've had conversations recently, and we'll look to have more conversations. We're going to do everything we can in order to get a deal done. McLaurin, broke his silence on where negotiations stand. He is set to make $15.5 million this season, which puts him as the league's 17th highest paid receiver. He's actually the second highest paid receiver on this team this year, because Debo is the 15th highest. We signed wide receiver Tay Martin, just like a roster fill. And that's about it. So, nonetheless, nothing new as far as any numbers come up. Here's the thing. Nobody really knows what numbers are being bandied back and forth. Nothing. Like, none of it's come up, right? Like, no one has said, oh, word is they want this, and the Commanders are offering that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, no one of credibility says that. So I think the Commanders want to stay under 30, and Terry wants over 30, and they're trying to find a way to meet in the middle in a way that everybody's happy with. I think Terry wants a longer contract, and the Commanders want a shorter contract. That's just my That's just my assumptions, just based on a little logic and reasoning. But I have as much hard info on that as it seems anyone else on the internet does. Dev, what do you think? Do you think this deal's going to get done soon, or do you think this holdout drags out?
What do you consider a drag out? Preseason one?
Yeah, if we make it to the first preseason game and nothing happens,
then I think that's when I'll be like, kind of, oh man, we need to trade him, or I'll be worried at that point, dog. You know, and to speak on trade him, just because I said it, impossible for. I think we should never even entertain the fact. But I'm saying you would have to think of alternate choices, because you can't replace that guy this season on a team that looks like they're building for this season. You know what I'm saying? When you go get a Von Miller and retain Wagner, you get all you have one of the top 2 or 3 oldest rosters in the league. You're not doing that to trade the best one out of the old people. You know what I'm saying? So trading them is just stupid. It's a stupid idea to even consider at this point. That's something you would have done in May if that's what you were going to do. But that being said, if it goes past preseason, Phil, 100% I think at that point it's a big distraction. Right now, man, you know, just to let y'all know, this if the Washington Commanders were smart, they would do this immediately, because the price is just going to go up. You don't believe me? Look at Dallas Cowboys the last 2 seasons, dog. Last year, CD Lamb, he wanted like $30 million or some shit like in May, but then Chase got paid, and Jefferson or somebody else got paid. Another receiver got paid, and his rate went up because of it, because he was better. And then the same thing happened when they tried to sign Dak. Remember, Dak wanted to get paid 2 years ago, man, 2 or 3 years ago. And they were like, oh, we'll hold off. But when he was waiting, Stafford got repaid, Goff got paid, a bunch of other guys got paid. And instead of him getting paid, $45 million, he ended up getting paid like 60 this year. So
Terry's going to get paid somewhere,
right? So
time is not on ownership
side, right? Yeah. So if you don't sign him to that 32, whatever fuck he wants, I mean, you do this in September, it's allowed to be 35. It's allowed to be 35.
You wait till next year, this price tag goes up.
Next year, you got to tag him, because somebody else will pay him.
So Marcus Elam says, I'm not worried about Terry's contract. I think he'll be in training camp after the weekend. If I was them, I would hold, and he is losing. I would hold. He is losing money. His agent should explain it to him better.
Well, it's only a mistake by his agent if he doesn't get what he wants. If he ends up getting the 32, whatever reportedly that he wants, then they'll also waive that fee. That's a team fee. It's not NFL fee. Like they can, the team can waive that, and they usually do. Or they pay it back to him on the back end.
But Yam says, I find it kind of dumb. Yes, dumb. Some other fans and content creators turning on Terry now and basically having the shut up and play mentality.
No, I get it though. I understand it. I understand why you would
Yam
not
does
pay
agree
Terry.
with you, but Yam does agree with you. He says they get Terry done now. Someone's going to reset the wide receiver market again next year. It happens almost every year. Yep. Melissa Elias, I don't know if this is Ryan under an alt or different Elias altogether or what, says, I think Terry wants 4 guaranteed 5 years, and they want 2 years, which would be mad disrespectful. Like I said, I would do 3 years, $99 million, maybe even do a team option 4th year. Like if he is still balling out after 3 years, they have an option to pick him up for a 4th. You can do that.
Well, you would still essentially be making the 4th year unguaranteed, though.
Yeah, but that's why he means you're guaranteeing the first 3 years. You're getting more guaranteed money up front.
I don't know, but the weird thing about this situation, though, Phil, is we don't know why what the hang up is. We're assuming it's money or it's guaranteed money or it's contract years. We don't know. Maybe Terry
Well,
wants
what
to
else
be
could
here
it
only.
be?
Maybe Terry wants to only be here 1 or 2 more fucking years, man. And he don't want
Somehow
a
I
lot.
don't think that's
I don't
it.
think that's either, but I'm just saying we don't know. That's what makes this weird because usually we know.
Ryan Elias says the little man took his phone, so
There you
he's
go.
under his wife's all. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. I was about to say, Ryan, if that was your wife making that statement, that was pretty astute on her part to think that they're that far apart. But nonetheless, the Terry saga continues, and everybody's mad about it.
How do you feel? How do you feel on the stance of what if Washington doesn't want to resign him? What if they do want to do a wait and see? Because you're going to also have to extend Samuels, right? You got to make a decision on it, rather.
Samuels,
you gave up money
on a 1-year rental right now, and they know it. They're not even.
You gave up a pick for him, though, right?
A 5th.
But you also have to re-sign Tunzel, which you gave up money or picks for.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, I wonder if they're thinking, hey, man, we did draft Lane. We did draft McCaffrey. We did Brooks from Louisville, by the way, looks like the best receiver in camp right now. Right now, today, the last 2 days, no one's turned more heads as a rookie than Brooks. Right as of today. I know it's like who gives a shit? It's just two catches to do that. But still,
I mean,
but I'm just saying, what if you're Washington's GM and you're thinking, hey, do I pay? And we got to be honest with the situation. Terry, the leverage could be on the team because I don't think Terry is more valuable anywhere else than he is Washington. I think Washington, he is the most valuable here, dog. Because let's face it, $32 to $35 million they're projecting. He's not going to put up what $32, $35 million receivers in the league currently are putting up. He's good for 1,000 to 1,100 yards a year and probably between 7 and 10 touchdowns. Guaranteed. Now, can he have a year like last year where he gets 16 touchdowns in 20 games? For sure. He has all pro in him. You know what I'm saying? So you can't discount that. But on a normal statistical basis, he's just a really, really, really good number 1 receiver on paper. Now, where he deserves the extra $4 or $5 million a year is the shit he does off paper. That seems like that should be more important to us. And that's why I think that if Washington don't pay him $32 million,
I don't agree that he's necessarily only valuable here because I think that a team like the Chiefs would die to have a Terry McLaurin.
But they die $32 million a year, though. That's the point. I'm not saying nobody wants him. I'm saying no. That's probably 4 teams. I think the Patriots and the Raiders would be 2. That maybe Arizona that would pay him $34 million, $32, $34 million.
That's still multiple teams that would do
it. I just wonder though, man. Like, would he take that deal though? Would he take the extra $2 or $3 million they're going to give him to stay in Washington? If you're watching,
I totally forgot your wife's a Cowboys fan. You're in one of them split households.
How you marry a Cowboys fan, bro? How's that even? I can't marry a UK or Cowboys fan.
You already know the answer I was going to say. He says if they don't re-sign Terry, I think they're putting themselves in a situation where they absolutely have to be right with whatever happens next.
Yes,
they kind of lose a little bit of that Adam Cook thing if they kind of get this up.
I don't think they can trade. I think
he's left on his contract, according to Marcus Edlin.
I think Terry can't. I think you can't trade. It's impossible. It should be impossible to trade Terry anyways, man. Like at this point, you've already gambled on the current roster. You can't let go of one of his most essential pieces because you can't get someone back to give you that production guaranteed. Someone would have to step the fuck up. I guess you got to a trade deadline for that to happen, but the chances are that Lane ends up Terry McLaurin, man, like year 1. That's a very, as Jay-Z says, it's a very big shoe.
Well, Yan points out this team doesn't get to or through the playoffs in 2025 without Terry.
Man, how many games do you think Terry's worth, Yan?
Also, if they bungle this, it'll always be a question with this front office for players thinking about re-signing or coming here. It could.
I got a question for you, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Not to jump the gun, we can answer this later, but I got a question for you. Yeah, with 2 choices, you're only given 2 choices. No third choice, no backing out, right? Terry extend the contract or the Redskins name back?
Terry. It's more important. And you notice there was no hesitation on that. We'll talk about that later. But that's the more important thing is talent on this team, no matter what the name is. There's talent on this team. This team winning. Ryan says, "What if he gets 1,400 yards this year? You think there's talent around to help him? He probably, he'll get close to it.
Man, he's never done it.
He deserves more money for the previous shit quarterback play he had to put up with.
I think there's a chance Terry could do less than he has in the last current years because he's got more help. I think he could do less. Doesn't mean he's worse. I just think.
Have y'all seen the Patriots and Bills fans begging for Terry to come there? Yes.
Oh, Patriots fans for sure. I haven't seen the Bulls.
Chiefs did a wideout and the Patriots going to Ryan last. Yep.
$32 million though. They didn't want to pay $30 million for Hill, dog. And Hill's a generational talent. They didn't want to pay him that. Think about it. I'm just saying, man. Like it's. I want Terry back, man. I hope nobody thinks I don't. I love Terry. There was a time I would say I wouldn't
points out we got a 3-year window, and that window opened a lot faster than anticipated. We can't go without Terry.
You can't.
We have to capitalize now.
Yeah.
Ryan Elias wants the name back. It's forever. Yeah, but you know what's also forever? Super Bowls.
Yeah,
you win that title. You have that title forever.
If I had to choose, I'd take the name back.
Yam says a name does not equal wins. The contributor wins is a name. Sure. I miss Redskins, yes, but I miss winning consistently more. We're going to talk about all this.
It stands for wins off the field.
Marcus says this. I've been a fan for years. I don't care the name of the team as long as we win multiple Super Bowl championships. Ryan Elias got his phone back. Says, got one for you to add, Deb. Completely remodel Landover and get the Skins name back. Keep the tailgating or new stadium and keep the Commander's name, no tailgating.
See, I ain't gonna lie. My one-time experience there, I love the tailgate, man. I have it. That's my favorite part of the game.
That's the one thing I would miss.
That's the one thing that I loved about the game. It'd be hard, man. I'll wait till we talk about the name before we get to the name thing.
I got a whole.
That's a good question. I'm gonna pin that one.
I don't have smoke. I got fire on this whole topic. And
I'm gonna pin that one. I don't know how you do it, but
you just did. You started. You're good. It's a good question. It's a good question. I will miss the tailgate at New Stadium, but nonetheless, moving on. I'm gonna keep this one moving. Sam Cosmi update. Now this one,
number 2 pick.
This one caught everybody off guard. I'm gonna read it directly off of Rigo's Rag.
Good old Rigo.
They said Dan Quinn's caused a stir in his media availability before the first training camp practice. The head coach revealed that offensive lineman Sam Cosmi's participation in week 1 against the New York Giants was on the table, which startled the Commanders fan base in the best possible way. They were expecting Cosmi to be out for longer. The stud right guard tore his ACL in Washington's divisional round victory over the Lions. But after hitting all of his markers in recent months during his rehabilitation, Quinn is cautiously optimistic regarding the former second-round pick status early in the campaign. Nothing is set in stone. The Commanders will take every precaution with one of their franchise cornerstones. Yes. They don't want any more complications to arrive by bringing him back too early unless there's 100% conviction Cosmi's big return can wait. We have made adjustments to this line to compensate. Commanders remain hopeful Cosmi can feature early in 2025. So, Quinn was asked on day 2 for further clarification. And he went through the process ahead of Cosmi and said nothing will be decided for a few weeks, but a glimmer of hope remains nonetheless. This is quoting Dan Quinn right now. If he came off a pup, then he would be eligible for that. But we won't know that for a few more weeks. If we wait until after and start the season, then you're automatically at 4 games. So we're not going to put any judgment. Say he's not going to be ready or is. We're just not sure yet. But he's hitting a lot of the markers. And he's hit a lot of the markers and he's close. He's already doing drill work and things. But as far as acclimating to the team, doing scrimmages and all that, we have not gotten to that spot yet. I'd say in another month we'll have a good sense. I think that he can come back, early season, week 4, week 5, whatever, and that'd be fine. We can go without him for a few weeks, make sure he's good to go. But ACL injuries, if they're a clean ACL injury, when I say clean, meaning it's not complicated by tears of other ligaments, they're not. They're not full. You're not out for a full 12 months anymore.
What's his bye?
That's Adrian Peterson.
What's our bye week? I'm gonna look.
So, but getting off the PUP list is the first objective for Cosmi. If he cannot achieve this feat, then the earliest Washington will see him is Week 5 against the Chargers. If he reaches this significant milestone, the interior force that is Cosmi could be ready to suit up right out of the gate. Quinn seems very satisfied with the way things are unfolding. I'm not entirely surprised because, let's face it, Cosmi is a gym demon. I
haven't been able to keep up with a lot of camp lately, but how's the line? I did read that Wiley and the rookie is taking it's alternating days of starting rotation.
They're gonna make Connerly earn the starting job the way they did with Jayden. You remember they did not name Jayden the starter off the bat.
So who's been playing the right guard?
No, right guard is Coleman.
Okay, who's been playing left guard?
Biotic. I'm sorry, no. Nick Allegretti. Nick Allegretti's playing right guard or left guard.
Who played right guard for us last year? Cosmi. Left guard
was Allegretti.
Okay, so whenever Cosmi comes back, that takes your boy out for the guard position, or is he going to play left guard?
We'll see. They have not announced how that's going to go. Yeah, I guess it depends on who's playing better between Coleman and Allegretti. If Allegretti's playing better, then him. If Coleman's playing better, then Coleman may move to right guard or left guard. Or you may move Cosmi to left guard. Whatever it is, I think the goal is get the two best guards out there. Whoever. Cosmi is the best guard on this team. Period. End of story. Pound for pound, he may be the best lineman on this team.
Maybe.
Offensive lineman. It's either him or Tunstall. Biage has center nailed down. We'll see. Laramie Tunstall has left tackle nailed down. We're really just at this point waiting to see what happens at right tackle. At least to start the season. Aldo Loco says Hogs 2.0. Cosby's a dog. Yeah, he is. Dude's got a mean streak. And I always remember that story about him coming in as a rookie. And Brandon Sheriff was doing some kind of like max out or like some 3 reps on deadlifts. I don't think anybody maxes out in the NFL anymore, but I think he was doing like, his heavy lift, like 2 or 3 reps. And Cosby reached down, grabbed the bar, and did 8. and we all know Sheriff's a strong dude. And Sheriff looked at him like, God damn. From all reports, like Sheriff was like, this kid's strong, And for a lineman, deadlift is a big key lift because it's your lower back and your legs. And those are 2 things that need to be very strong for you to be a solid lineman. Because you need to be able to take that force bending you back when somebody gets in your chest, and you need to have the leg drive to push somebody forward.
Right.
So, Mark Zealand says, if we have a great front office, we'll still be contenders with Jayden making maximum money. Yes, but you want to take advantage of him not making maximum money if you can. Absolutely. But we have a couple years to do that. But we're definitely a better team with Terry McLaurin on this team than not. Keep that in mind. Off the field news, Bobby Wagner has become a minority owner of the WNBA Seattle Storm. He says he's really excited to be part of the W, Washington, and the WNBA. He says, I think it's a great time. I'm really excited to be part of the growth and stay connected to a community that I still love. Yeah, Bobby Wagner still loves Seattle. I mean, he was there for so many years. I'm sure he's got deep roots in that community. As attendance and viewership numbers have continued to tick up across the WNBA, Wagner, an ever-developing businessman, set to earn his MBA from Howard University later this winter, seems to identify a special opportunity. So, Bobby Wagner, part of the WNBA Seattle Storm ownership group. Magic Johnson congratulated him.
Get ready to lose money.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. but it doesn't say how much he's an owner and so forth. But Wagner has done a lot of investment in women entrepreneurs and women-led funds that focus on sports and tech. So Bobby Wagner, big on trying to, to boost, women's businesses, women in tech, women in sports. So good on him for doing that and, investing in that. He wants to see a return on it as well, but obviously he sees that as a business opportunity. And of course, Magic Johnson's part owner of the Los Angeles Sparks of the WNBA. Wagner even said that Magic Johnson's been a really big mentor of his. Says that he's helped him out so much, and Magic Johnson was somebody that he ran this idea across before he made the decision. So I think that this is, a great opportunity. Obviously, when you're getting other athletes, not just paying lip service to women's sports, but actually putting money voluntarily to become party ownership groups. Obviously, he sees it as a business opportunity too, something viable, and that's healthy for the league's image, the WNBA's image, that investors, somebody who is investing, somebody who's a male athlete, is investing in a WNBA team as a part owner because they see it as having viable financial success in the future. Obviously, it's not a now investment, but in the future, and that kind of investment will help the WNBA kind of wean itself off of NBA subsidies. And if the WNBA can get to that point that they're not getting subsidized by the NBA, I think that would be a milestone achievement for professional women's sports.
Facts.
Dev, any thoughts?
No, what you said is right. Facts. I love the way modern athletes have transitioned into better businesses for themselves. Man, we don't hear as many stories as athletes going broke after they finish playing. Number one, because they make a lot more money, but two, also because they're becoming financially literate, or more financially literate, so to say. So I'm happy.
The league has done a really good job about teaching rookies that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So shout out to B-Swags, man. B-Wags, man. He's he's quickly becoming one of my favorite. I know it's only been here a year, but he's one of my favorite guys, man. Has ever been in the uniform. He gives me a lot of Lennon Fletcher vibes. But I definitely am happy for him.
And he plays all out. It's not
100%, man. Don't feel like he's
check.
Yeah.
But Aldo Loco says that he's gonna be a great coach after he retires. I don't know if he's talking about Bobby Wagner or Cosby, but both of them. I think both of them will find their way on the coaching staffs in the future. Marcus Edlin says that B-Wags talked to Magic Johnson about investing money. It's a great resource for our players to have in financial advice. Absolutely. That's the underrated part. Magic Johnson's ownership in this team is very, very, very small. But he's a very visible person. He's got ownership in so many different teams and so many other businesses that are not sports related. That he's taken what he made in the NBA, which is big money to us normal people, but compared to what players are making now, peanuts. But he took that money and he made that money make money for him with smart investments. So, Magic Johnson, nice to see that he is imparting that advice to anyone who wants it. So that's definitely good to hear. Ryan Elias says that's fantastic. Talking to Marcus, says they need more than just rookie financial advice, need continuing education for financial gain. I think there's a lot more resources out there for players. Plus, we live in a society that's very entrepreneurial driven, whether it's social media and content creators and so forth. But there's a lot more in the way of access to that financial education and leagues and organizations, businesses providing those. I've worked for companies where they provided financial planners and so forth at no cost for you to speak with as an employee, so you can make your be better at spending your money and investing it and so forth, so that you have more money once your working days are over, and whatnot. So that's always a positive, and it's nice to see, especially in this day and age, getting people more fiscally responsible and intelligent financially. Update on the stadium. So, Chairman Phil Mendelson of DC Council said that there will be a public hearing on legislation for the new RFK Stadium on July 29th, a hearing with government and team officials on July 30th, and a vote will be August 1st. They have been working with the Commanders for several weeks, and they feel they have a much improved agreement that would bring the team back to their historical home, as well as develop the land around the RFK campus. Now, the funds that are going to be voted on is $950 million. So it's not even $1 billion. So I think that the Commanders are having to fork out a few $100 million more to make this happen. But obviously they've come to an agreement. It's
That's what they
less
talked about
money
today,
out of
right?
the taxpayers' pocket and more money out of the team's pocket. And I think that it looks like that's what they were negotiating for. So that's definitely great to see movement on that. So I think August 1st, we will get the final news that, hey, new stadium coming. Going back to the thing that Mark Seelan says, a lot of players have been talking to Magic Johnson, including Jayden Daniels and his mother, and now she is a sports agent.
Including Jayden Daniels, who's now a sports agent.
Jayden's mom is a sports agent. Ryan says that Mike Parsons is a content creator, but there's a lot of stuff conflicts with the team. When he talks high about Jayden Daniels, I will wait until after the fact, like Cam Newton and his pod and Chad Ochocinco. But podcasting and all that, if you have a personality, you can make something happen in that. But I'm just talking about in general. Like, people are going out and trying to make their own money.
It cut everything out, by the way. It hurt nothing. We just came back.
Oh, well.
So everything is said. I think the last thing is, it might have just been me, honestly, but it swirled around on your end. And then I said, hey, Phil's gone. And then it came back on the Phil's thing about Jayden's mom.
Oh. Ryan was talking about how Micah Parsons is a content creator, but a lot of what he puts out conflicts with the team. Like when he talks highly about Jayden Daniels. And hold on. And then, that personally, if he were a player, he'd wait until after the fact, like a Cam Newton and his pod and Chad Ochocinco. Yeah, if you got a personality, after your playing days, you get a podcast, make some more money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. And
if not, you take that money and invest it elsewhere. But I'm just talking about in general, our society is very content creator driven. And people going out and making their own money instead of, just, playing days are over, go find another job like they used to. Invest. We do not have a Paul Rudd moment of the week, but I'm about to give you a moment of the year.
Oh,
so let's talk. Let's have a fireside chat. In fact, we're going to make this a more intimate conversation here for a second. Give me just a moment.
Wally, wait.
Bring this back. All right, guys. Let's talk. So, I'm gonna read these comments real quick. So, all right, we're not even going to talk about all that. Let's talk. The name change debate is back again after ownership told you that's just not in the cards. So, I got problems with all y'all in this debate. Not all y'all, most y'all. Let me first start with the people who are against changing the name back, and are out there saying that it's all about it's racists and fascists that want the name changed back, and they just want to be able to say a racist thing. First of all y'all were fans of this team when they were called the Redskins. Suddenly it's now racist to y'all. And I see support for changing the name back going across all racial and gender lines. So I don't think that's it. And also, it's online. Everyone throws the terms around fascist like they actually know what they're talking about. Most of y'all wouldn't know fascist if fascist was a snake and bit you in the ass. All right. Let's first start with that. Remember, these are people that you were fans of the same team name pre-2020. All of a sudden, you're enlightened. If you know the history of the etymology, the name is not racist in origin. Never really has been used in an actual racial term in terms of being racist. It was just used as a name created by Native Americans. Now, that being said, those of you who want to change the name back, a lot of y'all are getting on a high horse and saying that you're better fans. That those of us who have accepted the name change and are even rocking with it, like we have with the name of this podcast that you see above me, Command This, that we are lesser fans. And that you're loyal, but where's that loyalty of yours? Your loyalty is to a name. Your loyalty is to a name. It's not to a franchise. It's not to players. It's to a nickname. My loyalty is to this franchise. I heard somebody say that they were a fan of the Redskins long before they found out that, that was their hometown team and they're from DC. Well, first of all, how stupid of a kid are you? If you don't know that the Washington Redskins are from Washington, D.C. when you're from Washington, D.C. I knew damn well at 2 years old that the Washington Redskins were from my town. 2. I knew damn well one of the first names I knew of any human being was Art Monk. Now, first of all, because it's an easy name to remember when you're, a couple years old.
Yeah.
But I knew that. And I knew he played for the Washington Redskins. Where were the Washington Redskins from? My hometown of Washington, D.C. So, you want to sit here and act like you're a better fan than me because you're loyal to a nickname, not the franchise, which was first the Boston Braves. You're loyal to Redskins. You're loyal to a name. And I get it because I know a lot of y'all have a certain bent. And I know that change the name back to you, it's not really about honoring, make Indians great again. By the way, Indians is actually, I can provide you evidence some other time that that's not a derogatory term either, because it's not Indians as in India. There's a whole other thing to it. I'll get into that later. But it's not make Indians great again, because none of y'all, anytime, except when you saw that logo and saw that name, you never gave a thought to any Native Americans anywhere at any time about anything. Okay. So you weren't, out there doing Red Man Tobacco. You weren't cheering on the St. John's Redmen, were you? No, it's just that name. But I know why you want to do it, because a lot of y'all, let's face it, are fans of the current president. And I'll get to him in a minute. You're fans of the current president. You're of a right lean, and you want to own the libs. Own them. And you think that makes you a better fan of this team than you? If you think that just because of the fact that you want the name Redskins back, and by the way, are openly encouraging, don't let those who accepted the name Commanders back into his fan base. You shunned them. You don't let them back in. Don't let them cheer on this team. I'm going to tell you something right now.
Well,
I'm going to tell you something right now. No, Dev. You can tell it to my blind eye. Because my good eye ain't got time for ain't going to look at your bullshit. You can fuck all the way off with that.
Why'd you have to go full Kano, man?
Because I am full Kano. You can tell that dumb shit to my blind eye.
Kano Credible. That's your new wrestling name.
Because you ain't going to get a second look from me with that bullshit. You can take that and take that story, tell it walking, because I ain't got time. Not at all. If you think that you're a better fan than me or Dev or anybody in our chat, you think you're a better fan than LJ? You think you're a better fan than the hog farmers? Hog farmers have season tickets. They come all the time. They come fully dressed, ready to go. And they raise money for children's cancer care and research and making these kids have a productive life while they fight these diseases that can be fatal while you just want to own the libs. You think you're a better fan than the Mad Hatter LJ? LJ lives in Wisconsin, has season tickets, flies in for every game.
Really? Mad Hatter?
Yeah. Yes.
Damn.
She lives in Wisconsin, dude, and she flies in for every home game.
I never do that. I thought she lived there.
If you're a better fan than her, or the Hog Farmers, or the Command Disc crew, or the tailgate corner, or the command corner tailgate people, you don't sit there and tell me that you're better fans because
I met Mad Hatter at the game I went to. She was
name.
fucking dope, by the way. She's one of the dopest fans there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on TV every game because she gets fully dressed up. Top hat and tuxedo.
Yeah.
And that top hat and tuxedo are burgundy and gold, baby. You know how hard it is to find a burgundy and gold tuxedo? It is not.
Yeah. That'll fit a woman, too.
Don't sit here and tell me that you're a better fan than any of us because you're not a fan of the team. You're a fan of a name. You're a fan of of your political bent. You're a fan of, and I get it because I hate PC culture. I hate these so-called, and I hate using this term, woke stuff. I hate all that, right? Because I believe that, if you're going to have a free society, you got to be able to speak freely. But Pandora's box is already opened. You can't pack it back in. You take what you can get. You're getting the Super Bowl era jerseys. You're getting the stripe on the helmet. In fact, this is a funny thing. Same people complaining that the stripes weren't big enough on the shoulder pads. Well, you know what? Jerseys are different now. They don't have the big sleeves. They're elastic sleeves tight right around the pads. If the name never changed, that's how the jerseys will look anyway. But that goes to show you don't know shit. You don't know anything. You want to complain. You want to have a gripe. Now, if the name gets changed back, I'm a fan. If the name doesn't get changed back, I'm a fan. Why? I'm a fan of this team. Because it represents my hometown. It's the one I grew up rooting for. Whether it's the Redskins, whether it's the Commanders, hell, call them the Admirals. I rooted for this team when they were the Washington football team. And I absolutely could not swallow that name. I was still a fan. Hell, we rebranded this podcast to Washington Football Addicts. Why? Because we, the better fans, still wanted to support this team. We are fans of this team. No matter what the name is, the team, the franchise, the lineage, the history still remains.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to bring your sides cucked political team sports into real team sports. Nah. That's not happening. And I think that you're all assholes if you're doing it. I think you were just the lowest form of scum, and you can suck it from the back. Period. Nose deep. Now, Mr. President Donald Trump.
Don't get ice sent after me, dog. I'm
I'm the one who would get it before anyone because I got dual citizenship.
I'm black. Nah. Trump's.
But anyway,
fuck yeah, boy.
Thank you for freeing Ross Ulbricht. That was a wonderful, wonderful bit that you did. Thank you. This is none of your business. In fact, I remember during the Obama administration, you said that President Obama, who had weighed in and said they should change the name, said that no president should be even suggesting such a thing. And now you are. Now you're going to sit here and pull a flip-flop. Now you're notorious for doing this because guess what? What happened to them Epstein files, baby? Sometimes people wonder why I have the political ideology that I do. All right. I'm very much, I'm a small government, devolved government, meaning, if you're gonna have power to the lowest level possible and limit those powers to a certain extent. And this is why. If you support President Trump having the ability to force a name change, you're setting a precedent that the next president that comes in, if he's of a different ideology, can force a name change back. I really don't feel like dealing with a name change debate every 4 years, every 8 years, every 12 years, whatever the case may be, as the two parties flip-flop issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a precedent you want. Because remember, when you give a position a certain amount of power, you're giving anybody who holds that position that level of power. We are not a kingdom. We do not have an imperial presidency. And we're not even a democracy, people. We are a constitutional republic. Keep that in mind. You can't debate me on this. I am right. But Mr. Trump, you want to focus on big, beautiful bills? Sure. You want to duck releasing the Epstein files? That's a political matter. That's a judicial matter. Keep your goddamn motherfucking name, your words, your mouths, your hands off my football team.
Unless.
Now, why did this not come up when you had our ownership group on the White House lawn? You were talking about how great the Commanders quarterback, Jayden Daniels, he's so great. Never once mentioned Redskins. You couldn't do it in front of the very people who own this franchise, but you could do it behind Twitter fingers. I think those Twitter fingers should go to focusing on other things, or maybe you should put the phone down.
Focus on the fucking budget. In the war between Ukraine now.
I mean,
yeah,
but then again, it's kind of, I guess, on par for old.
Hey, get these.
Flip-flop on sending weapons to Ukraine. He flip-flopped and learned how the president should have anything to do with a name change. So on and so forth.
Pay me for any overtime over 8 hours if you want to do something for me.
But here's the thing.
I will say this.
Here's the thing. Either side of this debate, if you think you're a better fan because you're loyal to the name, if you think that anyone who opposes the name Commanders is a racist or a fascist, you're wrong there too. This debate should just not even be happening. It should be a dead issue. We are on the precipice of something great with this franchise, no matter what name it is. And instead of focusing on that, or even talking about the fact that, hey, we need to get our star wide receiver signed, you want to talk about the name change, and you want to support the idea of blocking, which legally he can't do, but somehow want to support the idea of blocking our team moving back in to the city it represents. You want to stop that? You want to support that just because you want to say the word Reds? You want to say you're a Redskins fan? People say it all the time. We know what you mean.
I don't know. You know what? I'm
mad. It took me a couple years to get adjusted to it because I've been saying it for 40 years. You know? But no, you're not going to sit here and tell me you're a better fan than I am. No.
Did somebody actually say that to you though? That you were not a?
I've seen it multiple times. I've seen it a lot on Twitter.
I don't know, man. I'm not one of those guys who like openly advocate to change the name back to Redskins, man. But it'd be fucking cool if they did. I'm not gonna get it right.
What's the point? What's the point now? What is the point?
It isn't. I don't feel like I don't think you should, honestly. But if they did it, I would be happy about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you're going. Because then when other people
I
obtain
think,
power,
I think
and they
everyone
will.
I think everyone liked the Redskins better. And here's the real test of it all, though,
Well,
right?
off the tongue, and everybody grew up with it. I
Yeah.
understand that, but you're
But
not going to tell me
Commanders
that
not even a
you're
good
loyal
name.
to a name. By the way, a lot of people who are loyal to the name are same people who demand Terry be loyal to the team and take well under his market value. I've noticed that correlation.
I think most of us like Redskins more, but we don't care. I like Commanders too. If we stay Commanders, I'm gonna be a fan either way. You can name us almost anything, and I'm gonna be, you know, like a fan.
I mean, Dev wanted us to be the Fast Blacks.
That's right. I think it's nail on the head. Old Blacks now, but you know, I will say this though.
So Ryan Elias is not getting. He's kind of getting my point. And Ryan, thank you for the super chat, because my rant's on point. But you're also kind of defending it. It's not an issue that a president should be bothered to weigh in on.
Absolutely right.
Hell, and not only that, but weigh in on unprompted. It's not like Obama, who was asked about it and gave an opinion that he shouldn't have weighed in. He should have said, it's private company. I got no opinion.
Two things, though. It is in D.C., so I guess opinionized. You know,
D.C. has not been owned by Congress since 1970.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he likes to make, you know, I guess it comes up in his everyday conversation probably because of the bill passed. And you don't think like maybe things about bills being passed in the area don't come up like in those circles. No. I just wonder. But also
DC as a city and their governance only comes up when it's something that actually affects the federal government.
Did he just wake up and say this shit, or was it like just somebody bring it up to him and he just didn't?
He just tweeted it.
Huh. You know, like I said, I'm not a
social, whatever that.
I'm not a man who voted for Trump, but
that network that no one uses, kind of like Blue Sky. You know, it's people who went away from Twitter because they wanted to get into bubbles.
I'm not a Trumpster. Right. I'm not a Trumpster. But if you change the name, bro,
I'm not an anti-Trumpster either. Like there's things about the guy I like, there's things about the guy I don't like. Right. So this is not like don't sit here and think that you're going to nail down my political ideology just off of what I say pro or against Trump, because you're not.
Look, if you change the name, though, you know, I might have to. I'm still not gonna vote for him, but you know, I definitely be like, hey, you know, he did something I liked. But you know, this is what I think, honestly, though. If there's any chance of it happening, though, if there's any chance,
it's not.
We can go back to it's not. I agree, but if there's any chance they could happen, right now's the time to do it, because all Harris has to do is blame it on the government interfering. All he has to do is say it's out of my hands. The government wanted to do it. I had to get it. Even if it's not true, he can easily wash his hands of this situation and be like, oh man, the president said I had to change the name. The government was on my back. Here's your chance, Harris. Here's your chance if you're going to do it. Also, he could just be like, fuck Trump, I hate him. I'm definitely not changing it back. But he hasn't said shit. That's what makes me weird about the thing, though, man. They had a whole press conference with a GM and these motherfuckers the next day. And no one even asked a fucking question about it. That's what's crazier. No one said, "Hey, man."
Off. They tried to get the question, and he brushed it
but
off.
what was the response? It wasn't a hell no. We're not. He didn't say fuck no.
They're doing the smart thing and saying it's irrelevant.
It isn't irrelevant because the president.
It is irrelevant. It's irrelevant because there's nothing.
Common sense irrelevant.
Nothing.
It's common sense. It's common sense irrelevant, right? It's common sense irrelevant. But anytime the leader of the free world brings up your football team in a city you're in, and it's your first press conference of the year, I feel like you at least got to address it. You could at least say, hey, man, it's not important. He needs to stick to politics. Like, if that's all you had to say, it's fine. But you didn't do nothing. You didn't pick a side. I feel like not picking a side.
There's no side to be picked here.
I feel like not picking a side, making a hard line statement tells me that you're at least maybe considering this shit.
They've already made hardline statements.
Even if it's not since then, but even if it's like a 2% chance of you changing it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you've at least moved up to 3. Again, I'm not saying it should happen or will happen. I don't think it will.
0% chance to a 0.000000001% chance.
Man, look, I think that
these fools jumped on it.
I think there's a chance, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not rooting for it to even happen, but I'd be happy if it happened. That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna still root for the team, sure, and I'll embrace it.
Yeah,
I'm not against the name. I just know that you're setting a precedent for this to happen a
it's
lot.
some small percentage. Trump will be a hero forever to a lot of these motherfuckers if it did. That shit's hilarious, man. The whole thing
he's not
is
gonna give him any
comedy.
votes. He can't run for president again.
The whole thing is comedy, bro. The whole
It
thing
is.
just,
And here, as someone who is a student of history and politics, I hate I hate this kind of stuff. I've social media was the worst thing that ever happened to politics. It was a great thing in terms of bringing awareness to certain things, but it was also terrible because it truly, and this began during the Obama administration because they because let's face it,
they changed it
they
on
did
Trump's
a very good
administration.
job of curating his stuff to make him look really good. All right, and Trump, did Trump, and Biden was, but this has been going on for,
They changed the name on Trump's watch, though. That's what's funnier about the shit. Like, if you felt this way, why did you say some shit when they changed it under your watch? They changed it while he was president.
He said that a president shouldn't even be making suggestions like that in 2013.
That's what I'm saying. None of it. That's why I said you can't take it seriously. But the fact that the front office didn't just make that statement, I don't take that seriously. They didn't say shit. Like, that makes me think
they're just trying to avoid it altogether because
Mr. Harris,
I know they don't want to look.
If you're watching this, Mr. Harris, I know you're not, but if you are watching this, zoom in hindsight here, right? If you're watching this, right? If you're watching this, if you want to change the name back, here's your chance. Don't do it 3 or 4 years from now and complain. Here's your chance to do it. Not saying you should or not saying you are, but if you're going to change the name, now's your time to do it, man, because you can blame it on Trump. You can blame it on Trump. You won't be the bad guy.
We can have another moment in 4 years or 6 years or whatever.
I don't think the world's where it was in the COVID era or the woke era. I think that time is almost over with, dog. I think nobody gives a fuck. I think honestly nobody even gave a fuck if the name changed. Just that time of era they did. I think if that discussion was had this year, nobody give a fuck about changing that name, bro. It's just the time. I understand it. I understand the shit, but I think you should not change the name. But
let
it
rest.
If you do, I'm hyped. If you do, I'm going to be hyped.
Such a stupid debate, but it causes people to say things that piss off the rest of us people who have a rational head about themselves.
Like what? Change the name? The wrong name died. No,
saying that people like us who are like, hey, we get it. The name's what it is, and we're like, it's either you don't root for the team that you grew up rooting for, or you accept it.
I would like as if we were.
You're saying that you're not going to welcome us back. You're not going to try to mend defenses. You want a half full new stadium?
I don't think it'll be half full. Worst case scenario, it'll be filled with Trump supporters. But they
don't live in that area.
Man, you'd be amazed what he can get people to do. Hey, y'all go watch your Redskins game. They'll be there like a cult.
Trust me, I live in a 70% Republican area. Do you think anybody here is driving all the way to DC to go to games like I do? No.
They'll drive for Trump, dog. Especially if he shows up to a couple of them home games. I'm telling you, man, it could be a whole movement. If Trump wanted it, he could just be like, hey, I'm going to all the games to start with our Redskins. It would be filled, man.
No, it wouldn't. Because it wouldn't. Because until the name changes, he's not going to be there.
Watch. But what I'm saying, if they do it, it's a lot of ifs. It's not going to happen, but it's fun to think about, I think it's hilarious and fun to think about, but it's not going to happen, man.
It's hilarious and fun until it's like someone says that that someone like me, someone who spends time researching and talking about
what you mean, you people?
I mean,
that's him with that. What you mean, you people? That's what you should have said to him.
No, they said that this is lesser fans than us.
You gotta use your.
Well, you're a fan of a logo. You're a fan of a name. You're not a fan of the players. You're not a fan of the city. You're not a fan of the Super Bowls. You're not a fan of the history. You're a fan of a name.
Yeah, I mean,
how paper thin is that?
Yeah, fuck it though. The fans go away, man. Names
bullshit.
Fans go away. Names are not fans, but players go away. Names brands are forever, dog. We'll be calling us the Redskins.
And a lot of y'all a lot of y'all who want the name change
whatever.
back also claim to be like pro-military and all this other stuff. I support the troops.
Man, we don't even do
But you
nothing
don't support the
pro-military.
name commanders.
We don't even do nothing pro-military, bro. I don't know one thing we really do besides have a fucking army now. What do we do? Put some stickers on the helmets?
We do this shit with
I
the
went to the game. I ain't see no military shit go on at all, bro.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, dog. Like I don't remember.
Or you want to, you know?
Did they have Native American themes and shit when you went when it was Redskins?
No.
I know. I'm just saying. I didn't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, don't even do the chop like Kansas City does.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't do that, but it's still hilarious.
I'm just saying, it's like, what was taken from you besides the name? Nothing.
Yeah, I like the Washington football team. By the way, that was out of the two.
That name is horrible. It's
out of the two. I liked it.
If you like that name, water is too spicy for you.
I like football team better than Commanders. I like Redskins better than all of them. So if they change it back,
I mean, look, I really had to convince myself not, if this team had been called Red Wolves, I had to convince myself not to jump ship. But
I like Red Wolves. I like Red Wolves better than all of them besides Redskins.
I think it's a terrible name.
It's a good name,
but we already talked about that. Point is,
I like just Wolves would have been.
They are now the Commanders. We are now taking command of the NFL.
I wanted an animal, bro.
We have a quarterback who is taking command of the league.
Put a tank on the helmet. I might change my mind.
Nonetheless, we can talk about how you market the name. We can argue about how you market the name.
Bullets the Wizards was worse.
It is. Hold on. It is. It was the Redskins. It was the football team. It is now the Commanders, and will be the Commanders. Now you get on board
until that stadium's built. Then it's going back to Redskins, according to Donald, King Donald the Trump.
Because that land was given to the city of DC. The federal government has no authority.
King Donald Trump, first in his name, keeper of all policies, breaker of rules, whatever.
We fought a war in 1776.
Man, I mean,
to get out from under the rule of a king.
Unfortunately, even after that war, I was still a slave, so it don't care. I don't care about that. But we don't,
another war, so you could join in, Dev.
1776 did not free me, by the way, my people. But nonetheless, I think that if Trump pulls this off, dog, this is gonna be his greatest victory, in my opinion. It'll be his greatest victory if he pulls this off, in my opinion.
If I don't like even talk about this hypothetical because you're giving.
I want to see it happen for shits and giggles. Honestly, I love to see it happen just for the chaos.
That is selfish.
Just for the chaos of it. But I do. I mean, everybody.
You don't need any more chaos with this franchise. I lived through, and here's the thing too. I love this argument. Well, Dan Snyder, the name Commanders just reeks of Dan Snyder. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder owned the Commanders for what? One season?
Huh?
He owned the Commanders for what? One season?
Yeah.
He owned the Washington football team for 2 seasons.
I wish he would let the new guys make the team, though. I wish he would have gave them the choice.
Hold on. He owned the Washington Redskins for 21, and he put his stank all over that name.
I mean, so did Preston Marshall, but
Deadskins was a very common name under Dan Snyder.
Foreskins too.
Do we really want to bring that back? I mean, realistically, everybody talks about the history of the Redskins. What was the history for the last 2 decades of the name? Dan Snyder.
You got to change our name for it to be a diss, though. You can just say Packers, and you don't have to change that shit, and it sounds fucking crazy. So I mean,
put fudge before it, yes.
You don't have yeah, that's right.
Or you can do that with a lot of names, cowgirls, whatever, she-gulls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would say
all these people you take the eye out, they're gnats.
All these commander name guys, everybody or people that's on your side, Phil. Every one of y'all like the Redskins name better. So I don't know why y'all be mad if it got changed back.
I'm mad at the fact that we're having to go through this bullshit again. Because if you do it, you're going to have to do it again when the next social movement pushes that way.
I don't think so.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. The next time, because this comes in waves. I watched it in the 90s.
Coming back.
I watched it in the 90s. I watched it in the 2010s into 2020. It'll come again. Because the last time there was a movement to change the name was in the early 90s, but the Annenberg poll shut that down. And then there was another push in the 2010s. Basically, it's whenever certain sides of the sphere, because they are very protective of language, get into power, that's when you get another push because they feel there's political and social momentum on their side. And you can understand. Anytime you feel like the momentum's on your side, you try to push harder. You try to capitalize on it.
Like you're saying Democrats, which
The left. The left. Because a lot of the left don't even like Democrats because they don't think they're left enough. But nonetheless, I'm not going to get into a whole political discussion. Politics.
I don't know, man. I feel like
Let me tell you this now, people. Politics is not a linear left-right line, by the way. Politics is three-dimensional.
When I thought of Redskins, I thought of the football team. I never once thought of a Native American. But I mean, I get why Native American. This is the thing. I get why Native American will be upset, but I have not yet once heard a group of Native Americans get on TV and express their anger at the name. It's just also been white people with purple hair and shit. Like I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen any.
And those people have been given way more social clout than they probably should.
I haven't seen anyone like named dances with weed or anyone.
Regardless, do you want to have this debate every decade?
No, they change it back to Redskins. You ain't got to. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you do.
I don't think
because there'll be another push to change the name, and something will happen that will be a catalyst for another debate on it, and then there'll be another name change. I'm not doing this every 10 to 15 years for the rest of my life.
Right. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. Bring it back. You're just going to get rid of it again. I don't think so. But I don't think it's going to come back anyways. It's all a moot point, perhaps. But it is fun to consider. I hope it happens, though.
You just like chaos, though.
I'm not going to hear like change it back. Whatever you think. I mean, but, I love
you just want to see. You just want to see what would happen. I understand that. Whatever.
Redskins brings up so many childhood memories.
There's that dude who walks into a crowded bathroom and then drops a firecracker in the toilet and runs.
I wish Redskins brings back so many fond memories, and it's just such a natural. I felt like it's just a more natural name because I've said it for so long. It's such,
it rolls off tongue easier if you've said it for 40 years. Yes,
yeah.
Okay. Ryan Elias makes this point.
It would not.
How I feel about Von Miller saying Redskins and not Commanders who's called. I don't care. I totally understand why he would.
I didn't even know it.
Von Miller played against the Redskins longer than he played against any other franchise name in Washington because he was the majority of his career was playing for a team, and one of the teams in the league was the Redskins.
Von Miller, man, I changed something. Von Miller looks like a guy who killed a bunch of people at war and came back, became a reverend.
Von Miller is a Brooks and Dunn man.
He looks like Bokeem Woodbine. He looks like
he was playing Leon Moon in the Buffalo Bills locker room last year.
He looks like Bokeem Woodbine when he came back from Vietnam and Dead Presidents. It's always been a weird. He gives me serial killer vibes, man. Which is great if you're playing against him on a football team. He's on your side. He looks fucking creepy.
And guess what? We got one on here. It says being proud of the Dan Snyder's last mark on the team is pathetic. What about the mark he left on the name Redskins? Oh, you're willing to ignore that.
I can watch those.
You're willing to ignore that, but the name Commanders because it was named under the Snyder administration. Oh, that's a stain. But the 2 decades plus 21 years of sullying the name Redskins under his ownership, you're willing to push that aside. It's the same team.
Yeah.
And I think that ignoring 20 years for one moment just to get your name back, that's period.
Never know.
End of story. You're wrong. I'm right. That's how it is. If you don't like it, so shit. Like I said, suck it from the back. I'm not doing this every 10 to 15 years. I'm not even going to ask any questions because there are none to be asked at this point.
I'll say go Redskins. I think it's going to happen. I hope it don't, but I hope it does at the same time.
This dude, the Rula Tube, says the name was changed because of a sex scandal, not because of the actual name being slurred. The sex scandal.
Basically.
No, no, because the sex scandal stuff came out after they were going to remove the name.
I think.
I trust me.
Oh no, we had to
talk about this on his podcast.
We had the
George Floyd shit.
I think he's talking about the boat scandals and shit like that, where they're looking at cheerleaders. That was like years before, right? Before they actually changed the name.
Oh, that happened when the team was called Redskins. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The name for the team. Oh no, we ignore that.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think the slur,
y'all cannot stand on this argument.
I think he did change the name though,
without ignoring a lot of painful truths.
This is why I think that.
And like I said, if the name were changed, I would be fine. I would embrace that because I'm a fan of this franchise.
What's the guy's name he got into it with that kind of got that ball moving? Wasn't there some kind of a big time like embezzlement thing that he was accusing Dan Snyder of doing, and that's why he ended up. Yeah, and Fred Smith's the one who got on people to kind of take their investments away. He was kind of leading the charge of that. In order to do that, he started doing the change the name thing. I think he's kind of I think that was what got the ball moving. I think that he soured the public on him because he thought Dan was stealing money, which he might have been, but Dan made out with $6 or $7 billion, so Dan won.
Yeah, but, I mean, he still won.
He won. But I think that's what
he turned $800 million. A lot of that was finance debt, but
yeah, I think
he turned $800 million into $6 billion. I mean, let's be fair.
I think that's the thing that kind of turned it over. Once he kind of got the owners to think Dan Snyder was stealing money, and then he got the got the business partners to think the same thing. They were like, "How can we get him out of here? How about we get this name changed?" I think all that was tied together.
Can I tell you what did it? Can I tell you what really did? It was when Nike decided to pull all the merchandise.
Yeah, but fuck Nike, man. Like right now,
Nike says we will not sell any merchandise with Redskins on it.
Yeah, but they were under pressure.
And you think Nike's going to change their stance on that now?
Dude, Nike. All Trump has to do is say Nike makes all the shoes from China, and then everybody will leave them alone too, dog.
What are you talking about? Nobody cares about that now.
Yeah, I know, but all I have to do is Trump has to say it first for people to understand it. I guess that's what I'm saying. People are weird. People are stupid.
People already understood that because people are making the sweatshop jokes about Nike since the 90s.
Oh shit. Oh no, man. I wear Jordans. I still listen to R. Kelly and P. Diddy, dog.
And Dan got pressured. Yes, Dan got pressured. But where'd that pressure? The pressure came. It was pressure from up top and down below. The pressure came because right now the latest survey I saw on the name amongst Native Americans was done by University of California, and it was 49-49-2.
I haven't seen
49% are cool with the name, 49% weren't, and 2% had no opinion. So realistically speaking, the idea that it's an overwhelming majority, it's not anymore. Gotta understand, those Native American kids over the past 30, 40 years have mostly gone to the same public schools that bred a lot of the purple-haired people the Dev was talking about too. And they got certain ideas in their head. Plus, it's taking, so next time there's a social movement like that, other people are going to catch on. They're going to want to get rid of all the derogatory names again, the supposedly derogatory. Because like I said at the very beginning of this whole rant, if you know the history of the term Redskins, it's not derogatory. I understand that. It's not that I have a problem with changing the name back because I'm offended by the name. I'm not. I have a problem with changing the name back because in 10 to 15 years, there's going to be a push to change it again. And then 10 years after that, there'll be a push to change it back. We're back and forth and back and forth. I don't want to do this the rest of my life.
Like the Aaliyah song.
I want the Aaliyah version because I want Aaliyah. I wish Aaliyah was still alive, so I could find a way to meet her and she could do the back and forth with me. Because Aaliyah was super fine back in the day.
I feel like she had no ass. Am I tripping though? I'm gonna look it up. I feel like Aaliyah had pancake ass, man. I don't know.
Dev finds the best ways to just totally derail my anger mojo.
There's nothing we can do about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
I just hate this idea that people think that because they never gave up the name Redskins.
Yeah, I'm looking at Aaliyah had no ass. She's very good.
That somehow that makes them better fans.
Aaliyah had no ass. I need y'all to hear.
You're loyal to a name. You're not loyal to a team.
But
you want to own the libs. I get it. I don't like the word police people either. I argue all the time. And you know what? If you're really deep into this whole thing of owning the other side on the word police, or if you're part of the word police, I'm going to use a word that the word police don't like. You're retarded.
Yeah, I say retard. I say all kinds of stuff. But
we say that all the time on this podcast.
I wish I could say. I wish I could say.
Get the idea that I'm anti the name in principle. I'm anti changing it back and forth because it. First of all, the name is not. If you're loyal to this franchise, you're loyal to this franchise. You're not loyal to a name. You loyal to
the franchise. The name is a franchise. The franchise is a name for us, though, man. The franchise is a name,
but it's still the same franchise. Okay. Then why don't we change it back to the Braves?
Yeah, I mean, I bet Brave people was feeling that way. I bet the people who are Braves fans felt that way for sure. I bet they felt that way. But you understood the reason they did that because they were owned by different people and other people wanted to own the baseball team. I get the whole thing.
They were owned by the people who owned the Red Sox who didn't want to have the same name as the crosstown rival.
Right, you get that one. This was just done because at the time. Less than most people gave a fuck what the name was called. And almost none of them were fucking actually Native Americans living on the reservation.
Dev, you don't think that there could be another movement down the line that's going to bring this right back up again?
I wish Dan Snyder would have had the foresight to have kept the Redskins name until the new ownership got there and let them make the decision. If he knew he was going to sell the team,
he didn't know he was going to sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But since what's done is done, keep it. That's how I honestly feel. But But if you're going to bring it back, now's the time. Not next year. Now is your chance to do it because you can.
And I'll be honest with you.
He can just he can give the blame to Trump and the Republicans.
And I'll be honest with you, if y'all want to know how I felt about the name change initially, I was one of the last people to call for Dan to sell the team because I felt that selling the team was going to lead to a name change.
You did. I remember this. You definitely did that. Yeah. You said that if somebody didn't sell the team, some pussy's gonna buy the team and change the name. Basically. Yeah. That's what happened. I mean, no,
but basically social pressures and corporate pressures combined to prevent that. You think the NFL is going to let them change the name back?
I feel like we're in a different world politically and socially, though, man. I feel like
we're in a different world than we were 5 years ago. We're in 5 years ago. We were in a different world than we were 5 years before that.
Right. And most of the time alive though has been this kind of world though. Most of the time it's been a world we didn't give a fuck what the name's called. I don't know, man. I don't think you should change the name, but if you're going to do it, right now seems the perfect time to do it, man. Harris can just he won't be blamed for none of it. He won't be blamed for any of it.
Well, he'd be blamed for caving.
Nah, man, you can say that I had to do it in order to get the thing.
And here's the thing. A lot of people who maybe are not anti the name Redskins, but are anti-Trump. And here's the thing. This thing doesn't divide across political lines. I know there's people who are straight line Democrats, but like the name Redskins. But because he caved to Trump, they will turn against this team just off of that because everything has to be political these days. By the way, you know how much I hate that? Anytime I'm on a dating site and I see someone put their politics right or left wing in their bio, that tells me they have no personality, and I swipe left.
Hey, if they got big titties, I'll go ahead and swipe. I don't give a shit what political party.
No, because I don't want to listen to them.
Hey, I'm a Democrat, and I would embrace the Redskins name. Y'all tripping? I don't know what's going on here. I like guns and abortions, bro. I like a lot of things that other people like. I'm cool with either one. You know what I'm saying? I got a AK.
I'm with you on that. See, it's funny because you and I don't have the same affiliations. By the way, I'm not registered Republican or Democrat, by the way, people.
I like
Let's
registered
tell you that right now. But I'm fine with both of the things Dev mentioned too.
Yeah. I mean, most people are like it. It's only like when you start listening to media and the rich people that don't know what regular people are. When you start thinking of our differences, but most people who are working class are the same. As far as their morality and the things they believe in, it's just that people are in disagreement on how to fix those issues. They can't agree on how to fix the issue that they both care about, and that seems to be most of our problems. Most people are alike. I mean, we have way more in common than we don't. Everybody wants affordable healthcare that's good for you. Most people want to make a living where they can afford some dignities. Most people want to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, everything else you kind of
okay. I do have to point something out here. Ryan Elias. Can I correct you on something here? The Native American Guardian Association launched a petition to rename the Redskins' name for the Washington Commanders football team. The petition, part of Nagas, reclaimed the name camp. Do you know? Have you ever looked at everybody who runs that organization? They're all white dudes and a few women. They're all middle-aged white dudes. Ryan,
that's what I'm
No
saying.
Native American nowhere leading that charge.
There's reservations that have football teams on the name Redskins. It's weird.
Yeah.
The whole shit's weird. But you're not going to make anyone happy. That's the bottom line of it. No, 50% of people are not going to be happy. 50% of people are going to be happy. So
winning last season killed this debate until Trump opened his mouth.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We weren't talking about this until that happened.
Yeah, because we thought it was not possible. But now it seems
it's still not possible.
It's very
not without a lot of controversy and this same subject coming up 10 years down the road.
I feel like if you will do it, though, you need to do it now. You'll never have a better opportunity to.
Ryan, I know people who are in that group and they're not Native American at all. Or there are those people who they say they're Native American. They say they're Native American and they go, well, my great-great-grandmother was Cherokee. It's always Cherokee. Have you ever noticed that? It's like the only Native Americans they know are Cherokees. They don't know any other tribe. So, oh yeah, so-and-so, my family was Cherokee. And it probably turns out they were actually Italian and immigrated here in the 1800s.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this debate, and the only way to quell it is to say name stays the same. We are moving forward, and that's it. You change the name. You're opening this up to happen again. We've already changed the name. We were Redskins, then we were the football team, then the Commanders. Then we go back to the Redskins, and then we'll be something else. Then we'll be something else, and then back to Redskins, and then something else. And back to Redskins and something else. I don't want to keep doing this, and it's going to keep happening. You're going to ruin my ability to talk football, people, because I'll get on Twitter, X. See, the name of the app is X. I call it Twitter sometimes. Sometimes I call it X. Sometimes I call it Twitter. Why? Because I call it Twitter for a decade.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. It's kind of the same thing, though, right? Like if he said, I'm changing back to Twitter, yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck, though. That's how I feel about Riz. I would still use Twitter if they call it something else. Twigger.
I'm not going,
let's call it Twigger.
Honestly, as far as having free and open conversation and having diverse opinions, nothing's better than Twitter. It ain't Blue Sky. It ain't Truth Social.
Yeah, Twitter's the best.
None of these bubbles people try to form, and they think that everybody's got the same opinion in this world, when it's really just everybody who's on that particular app.
Yeah.
Point is, going back to this, just because you're loyal to a name and not the entire franchise, its history, its players, and everything else, does not make you a better fan. In fact, it makes you a lesser fan, in my opinion. If you're only loyal to the name, you are lesser than. Sorry about your damn luck. But it ain't even luck. You chose it. Anyway, now that I've gotten that off my chest, in a pretty rational manner. I could have been I was a lot
Summarize-
more hot about this 2 days ago.
To summarize, Phil says he wants the name back, but he don't really want to tell y'all. That's what he said. If y'all
This
coming in late,
backwoods Kentucky motherfucker always loves putting words in my mouth.
if y'all just joined the pod an hour and 44 minutes in, or however long we've been fucking going, Phil has said that he wants it to be called the Redskins or Red Wolves. He'll only accept those two answers for the team.
You keep putting words in my mouth, and I'm gonna get a red ass real quick.
And Heineke is his favorite player of all time.
Okay, now that's blasphemous.
Only one of those is a lie, by the way.
One thing is a lie. The entire
Yeah,
previous statement made by Dev. That one entire statement by Dev is a lie. There you go.
I don't know,
audio
man.
crowd that may have tuned out because you don't like hearing me rant.
According to Marvel, the world has an infinite amount of Earths, and somewhere on one of those Earths, you are a Heineke fan. Just let you know.
Well, if I can cross dimensions, I'm gonna beat that version of me up.
On Earth 818 or whatever it is, you are a Heineke.
Earth 444.
Yeah, Earth 666.
Earth 4.
There is a Cowboys Earth somewhere that you are a Cowboys fan. You believe that shit?
Oh God.
That you going to meet the variant of you that's a Cowboys fan?
What's that? What was that zone? What's the zone that Superman put General Zod in?
The negative.
That's where I would banish the
negative
Cowboys
zone. Whatever it's called, the something Phantom Zone.
Phantom
Zone. Yeah,
I would banish a Cowboys fan version of myself to the Phantom Zone.
They got a kind of a Phantom Zone in the new Superman too. It's not, but it is. It's pretty dope. You should watch it. Superman is better than Fantastic Four, by the way. A lot. It's not even close.
Anyway,
Fantastic Four wasn't bad.
If you're a fan of this team and you just prefer to have the name back, but you understand, like I do, like that, hey, it is what it is at this point. Let's put this to the rest so we can all move forward as fans. Big hugs. We can be cool. But if you're going to sit there and say, well, I'm a fan of the name Redskins, that makes me a better fan than the rest of y'all. Suck it from the back. Nose fully deep in it.
Suck it from the back. It's I don't know how, I've never felt like so dirty in my life, man. What kind of fucking statement? Suck it from the back. That's weird, man.
It's not. It's what they could do.
Put that on X in the search box and see what comes up. Don't do that, by the way. Suck it from the back. As a crazy ass thing to say.
No, it's how I feel. I literally sat there and they said, we are better, lesser fans that accepted this name. Don't welcome them back in. Oh, fuck you.
So if you're a Redskins namer, so we'll call you guys.
You're a namer.
Then you have to suck it from the back, according to Phil, aka Kano Credible.
Telling you. You can tell it's my blind eye.
This is wild. I have it like again. My son, who's been in the hospital for a little while here, just got out. Who has been really the name in camp? I haven't been really able to watch the videos. Just listen to a little radio in there. I've heard Ja'Cory Brooks, the only name I'm hearing right now. I haven't heard a lot from Epps.
Krosky Merritt. Bill has been making some noise.
Krosky Merritt. Oh, the running back. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What about
Bill.
about the linebacker, the one we got from UCLA? How's he doing?
Madrano, I haven't heard anything about him. Like, in fact, somebody on Twitter was like, does anybody know what he's doing? Because I haven't heard a word. And they're like, I forgot we drafted him. And I'm like,
is he
I
there?
Drafted him. I just haven't heard anything.
How is Lane? I know Lane. I see Lane was running receiver.
Jalen Lane's looking fast. Marshawn Lattimore looked bad on one play, but like apparently today he had 2 pass breakups and an interception.
Yeah. I already looked at today.
And he ran by and he said, AJ Brown don't run.
707s are usually advantage offense anyway. So him looking bad in 707s is okay,
Yeah, but I think I don't know if it's on 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. Marshawn Lattimore looked good
That's
today.
good.
Like I say, he picked off a pass, ran by the coaching staff, and went, AJ Brown don't run.
Who's been playing on the outside besides I know they said San Rafael's playing the slide, Lattimore's outside. Who's playing the other outside? Is it the Rook?
Yeah.
Or is somebody else?
It's the Rook.
Okay.
Trey
The Rook.
Amos.
I seen we
haven't heard anything negative about Trey Amos either. So
we extended your boy, the safety. What's his name?
Not Will Harris. Jeremy Reed.
No, Butler. We extended Butler today, I think.
Oh, I missed that and all the
I'm looking at that. I extended them. Let's see. We extended, but I heard there was the Tyree Jackson or whatever, the quarterback turned tight end looks good in camp. Seeing a lot of people talking about him too.
Oh, and Noah Fant got released, and immediately everybody says we should sign him. I'm like, do we really need another tight end?
For what? He's no good anyways. For what? You ain't gonna get 700 yards out of him.
Not on this team because we got too many tight ends.
He can't do it he can't do it if he's the only tight end. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't got that. He hasn't been good but 1 year yet in his whole NFL career, dog. He hasn't been good, bro. It's been just a mid. You can get that kind of tight end anywhere.
Let me see what Noah Fant's stats are real quick.
700 yards, if that. I bet he's only done that once.
He's never hit 700 yards.
Yeah, I know he hasn't. I didn't have to look that up.
He does have 300 career catches in 6 years. So he's averaging his 17-game average is 53 catches for 591 yards.
Yeah.
And 11 yards a catch and about 3 touchdowns.
He was picked in the first round, bro. It's a bust.
Yeah, that's not a first-round pick. I mean,
maybe. That's a standard tight end. That's not a guy that's a standard tight end. He's
standard
a standard
starting
tight
end.
end. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad player, but you already have like 2 or 3 standard starting tight ends. Why do you need one?
He's visiting Cincinnati today.
Why do you need somebody that's possibly more expensive just because of name value? He's just a name.
Noah Fant is apparently visiting Cincinnati tomorrow, so he can go there. We don't need another tight end.
What's the name sign for? I'm trying to find his contract or
Percy Butler.
Percy Butler. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up. I guess I just type Percy fucking Butler in this.
Oh, one other thing. So Von Miller only signed. He was a 1-year, $6 million deal.
Yeah, and it's got incentives up to 10.
Yeah.
Last time I looked,
Percy Butler got a 1-year deal.
1-year extension. Oh, we're cutting up again. Hope it's not going out.
There? Where?
I'm still here.
Okay. So Percy Butler got a 1-year extension, and I don't even know if numbers were even disclosed. It says a 1-year extension. Details haven't been released yet.
Very fast safety. We kind of needed the speed in the backfield, I think.
Yes, I don't want him starting though. I'm kind of glad we got Will Harris back there, just because I think Will Harris.
How's Will Harris looked? Any news
Not bad. I mean, I haven't heard anything negative about him. You got to think there's only been a couple days, and the guys aren't even in pads yet. So,
has anybody on any other teams kind of showed? I've been looking at the Sanders deal a little bit. Shadur. I saw that Fields got hurt.
Yeah, Fields probably done for the year.
Is he? Is it that kind of injury?
I understand.
Jeez, man.
What I understand, he was carted off.
Yeah, he said he hurt his toe.
Oh no. Okay, so it was a
dislocated
toe in his right foot.
That's still.
But they carted him off. That's what I thought was okay.
Yeah, that's still something that can. So technically, that's what turf toe then, right? A dislocated fucking toe.
Turf toe is more of a ligament injury, whereas a dislocated is literally popped out of place.
So this might be a little better for him than a turf toe.
Yeah, turf toe lingers.
Sound like it's gonna be just pain tolerance. That's gonna suck for a guy who's a lot of his games based on athleticism. And maybe Shadur Sanders is the deal there, or the other guy they drafted.
I don't know. I haven't seen any clips of Shadur that I'm like, oh wow.
Pickett, man, he's looked pretty good in clips, man. Pickett looks like he's gonna be the starting quarterback. I ain't saying shit. I went to when they played Louisville in college and he smoked us by himself down. So I don't have
the Browns. I would not want to be a Browns fan because y'all got
or the Saints.
The Saints for the opposite reason.
Jesus, man.
Like the Browns kind of, it's funny. We have a name debate. The Browns have a quarterback debate because there's so many guys that could start.
Yeah, but they're all
that unless somebody's a clear standout during the preseason, all year Browns fans are going to be arguing about who should be playing quarterback.
Man, I really want to see what happens. The first preseason game is what, next Thursday? Hall of Fame game? When do we play? The Thursday after that? So we play in 3 weeks, I guess, from today?
No, we play in 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today. Right.
Our first game of the preseason will be August 8th. So on Friday, August 8th. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. It'll be a home game against the Bengals. And then, an away game against the Patriots on the 8th. Monday the 18th, a home game against the Bengals. And then the 23rd, which is a Saturday, home game against the Ravens. And we will be going to New England to do joint practices right before that game. And then the week before the Ravens game, the Ravens will be coming to our practice facility for joint practices as well. So I like the joint practices. You always see you see a different vibe when there's other jerseys on the field besides your own. So I think that just ups the competition level. And I think it helps get teams ready for the regular season a little faster when you have more joint practices. Because just like I said, the intensity is a little higher. And you're getting more into season mode because you're playing against ops. So anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hopefully you didn't have your children there for my last about 30 or so minutes. But if you did, they may have learned a few new words or phrases. But we're going to have to call it a night.
Yeah, it's a night.
But if you understand where I'm coming from, may not like it, we can be cool. If you still think you're a better fan than me, I've already said twice what you can do. But until next week.
Suck it from the front, suck it from the back.
Suck it from the back. Tell it to my blonde eye.
That's just hilarious, man.
But anyway. Till next week. Which we may be back Monday next week, or maybe the following week on Monday we'll be back. We're not sure yet. But at least not, if nothing else, next Thursday you'll be getting us. Till then, I'm Phil. He's Dev. Steve's on vacation. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you later. Peace. Hail. We out.